Phase 5, molecules. And molecules form from a combination of two or more atoms, for example, two hydrogen atoms binding together, sharing electrons, and creating a hydrogen molecule, shown there on the right. Now, add an oxygen atom to that and it becomes a different molecule. It's a water molecule. And that's just some of the examples. But what are they? Right? We know they're a combination of atoms, but the EWT project is attempting to answer some curious questions like their shapes that they form, linear, tetrahedral, and there's others. And also we're going to cover what happens to molecules and their parts when energy is added. And so this becomes phase 5 of the EWT project, and some of the objectives are to form a hydrogen molecule, to form a water molecule, and also to form some of the air molecules, nitrogen and oxygen. Okay, so here we are in Blender, and I've got the Quantum Microscope add-on open here. This time around, you can see I have opened the molecules module. Let's hit play. So, well, first off, before I hit play, I have selected 10 hydrogen atoms, so you can see kind of randomly placed there. And when I hit play, watch what happens. We're going to let the forces here create molecules. You can see them sort of rearranging themselves, binding. There's one hydrogen molecule, there's another, that one just bound there, there's another there, and there we go. Now we've got a total of 5 hydrogen molecules. That's just the calculation that's down here. Started with 10, and we end up with 5 H2 molecules and no leftover ones. And you can look at these from all different directions. And just to illustrate that we can do different versions and sometimes have leftover ones, let's just do something as simple as 3. So 3, after it runs, oh, that bound really quickly, as you can see there. So now we've got one hydrogen molecule and one left over, right? It doesn't have any other hydrogen atoms to bind with. And you can play around with the number of hydrogen atoms there, but unfortunately that's all that it has right now, is just binding hydrogen. This module needs a lot of work. Hopefully we'll get to the point where we will add other atoms and then be able to form additional molecular elements as well. But to do that, we are going to need to finish the earlier phases and make sure that we have helium and other atoms correctly done. Now let's just recap quickly the EWT project from phase 1 to phase 5, and I'll explain why. Phase 1 started to build from the smallest of particles, which was the neutrino. So phase 1 was space-time and the neutrino. Phase 2 was particles. Phase 3 was composite particles, such as proton. Phase 4 was atoms. Phase 5 was molecules. But there's an Easter egg in the molecules module, right? And we're going to kind of work backwards now. We're going to add energy to hydrogen atoms, and we're going to illustrate the processes for nuclear fusion. Right? Because hydrogen can fuse to become higher order elements in the sun and stars. And then what happens in particle accelerators as they collide composite particles like protons? What happens? And what happens in supernova explosions when there's enough energy that all the particles that's within that massive star, what gets emitted and what's left at the end of that process? Neutrinos. But before we jump into the module, let's just go through the observations. And the first one's easy. On Earth, we know that 2 hydrogen atoms can bind to create that molecule, and that's what we already showed. But now let's just say that we're in a star. And there's enough gravitational energy now, there's enough mass there and gravitational energy that something different happens. Hydrogen can fuse into other elements, such as helium. Now it takes 4 hydrogen atoms to become helium. And you can Google it to understand that whole process, but just trust me, it does. And so the stars, like suns, are mostly made up of hydrogen and helium, and then it takes more energy to create some of those other elements. Now in high energy collisions, such as laboratories, particle accelerators, you can take hydrogen's components, proton, and collide them together with other protons, and a bunch of stuff happens, right? And if you have enough energy, because it's a composite particle, lower energies, those quarks will kind of expand and snap back together again. It's a proton once again. But if you have enough energy, there's a lot of stuff that gets spit out. Mesons, muons, I won't go through everything, but just this year, in fact, CERN found that a lot more electrons are being ejected from this than muons. But the end process is still the same anyway, right? Because a muon eventually decays to an electron. So the point is, you start off with composite particles like protons, and you smash them together, and you get a bunch of stuff, most of which is going to decay to electrons. And that other one that you see there is its antiparticle, the positron. And one more thing from observations. When a large star, much bigger than ours, explodes, there's tremendous energy in its last stages of life. 99% of that energy is emitted as neutrinos. All right, and that's what we're going to go through next so you can see it. Okay, so we're back in Blender, again with 10 hydrogen atoms, and which you saw earlier. I'm going to let this run while I'm explaining it. And you'll just see under normal conditions, click on this external force, under normal conditions, we saw molecules form earlier, right? But now watch where my cursor is. You see the strength increase as I go collider or supernova. See how that number gets bigger? That's applying a force. So this if I kind of zoom in here, you saw that natural forces starts with 10 hydrogen atoms. You end up with 5 H2 molecules. But what happens when we add more energy to this now, such as gravitational energy in the sun, which creates the nuclear fusion process? Let's hit run. Start off with 10 atoms fused together, and you are now left over with, let's pause there, white is hydrogen. This kind of teal color is a helium one. So start off with 10 hydrogen atoms, and you end up with 2 helium atoms, and you have 2 hydrogen ones as a leftover. If I were to crank this up to 12, you'll see it should be, I think, 3 helium atoms and none left over. And there we go. There's 3 helium atoms now. Now that is the process for the nuclear fusion. Remember, in the slides we covered collider experiments now. What happens when we increase that energy even more? Right, so that just increased the strength by another tenfold, I think it was. Let's run that. Now, what you have is an explosion of all these different particles there. If you watch the earlier ones, that's the color that we have for electrons and for positrons. And that's kind of a plasma quark soup, but anyway, just a lot of stuff flying out of protons that are colliding. Now the really fun stuff, let's go to the highest possible energy and let's see what happens in a supernova explosion. All right, we start off with those hydrogen atoms, and then poof, this is the little color there for tiny little neutrinos in a supernova explosion radiating out into space. So there you have it. That's the little Easter egg. This is really just kind of programmed to do that. I'd say that this part needs a lot of work once the earlier phases are done, so that it truly becomes neutrinos instead of just being programmed at that number. But it's a great illustration, though, of what happens in supernovas, what happens in the sun for nuclear fusion. And that wraps up the molecules module. To download what you have seen here in Blender, follow that URL and it'll give you the steps for downloading Blender and the module. And if you'd like to contribute to the project, help to fix some of the issues, you can see the requirements and the links to download the source code at this URL. And that's it. I hope you have a great day.